It's not always bad. Good news for women and girls of Northern Africa's indigenous Amazigh ethnic group, one of the many that fall under the general classification of Berber. Amazigh women in Morocco and other North African countries are uniting to work for political, social, and economic equality. However, they have quite a task before them, largely because the notion of women's rights is still a baffling concept in some parts of the world. A recent New York Times article indicates that in Morocco and nearby nations, especially in rural areas, being beaten by one's husband often garners nothing more than sympathy from the police, if that, and kidnappers and rapists escape punishment by marrying their victims. But these deplorable human rights abuses are common to any female human in Morocco, not just the Amazighs. The primary disadvantage this particular group must face is the fact that many of them speak only their native language, Tamazight, rather than Arabic or French, the two most common languages spoken in North Africa. Thus are Amazighs marginalized, having great difficulty availing themselves of societal infrastructure such as government service, hospitals, and the justice system. However, in 2011, the Amazigh successfully lobbied the Moroccan government to declare Tamazight the second national language, but as the saying goes, securing a declaration is easier than securing an implementation. If you have web programming skills, consider lending your support to the voice of the Amazigh woman, whose Weebly website is a little wobbly. Love the sinner, to the extent required by law. On April 5th, Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant signed into law the latest RFRA, that is, Religious Freedom Restoration Act. The website rfripetals.com, run by a law professor and Establishment Clause advocate Marcy Hamilton, presents a list of 16 states, not counting Mississippi, with RFRAs on the books. The stipulations of the Mississippi bill are considered especially egregious by observers. Anyone with a sincerely held religious belief or moral conviction is now free to refuse service, employment, housing, or accommodations. Adoption and foster care agencies may disqualify sinners, as can any organization that provides services related to marriage, sex identity, and reproduction. With a nod to Kim Davis, civil servants may now recuse themselves from performing marriage-related services for any objectionable union. In a gymnastic feat that would shame Chubby Checker, the law refers to this new protected class of citizens as the potential victims of discrimination, not the perpetrators. In yet another case of parents' so-called rights trumping children's human rights, expressly protected are foster parents who wish to raise their foster children according to their own values, even if that means teaching the kids that many of their loved ones will likely end up in hell. In addition to the many corporations threatening to boycott states with RFRAs, PayPal has canceled its plan to open a facility in North Carolina, and New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has issued an executive order terminating all non-essential taxpayer-funded travel to Mississippi. Meanwhile, in the entertainment industry, Bruce Springsteen canceled a concert in North Carolina. And worst of all, Nickelback has threatened to hold a concert there. Rose petals are the key. Until his death in 2011, Governor Salman Taseer of Pakistan's Punjab province was an outspoken critic of his nation's blasphemy laws. On January 4th of that year, Taseer's personal bodyguards guarded Taseer's body by murdering him. When Qadri was sentenced to death, rallies and protests broke out all over Pakistan. A new mosque in the suburbs of the capital city, Islamabad, was named after Qadri. After his execution of February of this year, some 30,000 supporters attended Qadri's funeral, heaping rose petals on his coffin and on the ambulance that delivered his body to his relatives. Protesters in various Pakistani cities blocked highways and bus routes, set random objects on fire, and assaulted journalists. A week later, a Taliban suicide bomber, angry over the execution and lacking access to rose petals, killed 17 people and wounded 30 at a court building in Pakistan's Peshawar province. During the last week of March, some 25,000 protesters stormed Islamabad, throwing stones at police and setting more fires. Finding the mob impervious to tear gas, the authorities called on the Pakistani military to restore order. Some 2,000 Qadri supporters staged a sit-in at the Parliament building that lasted 4 days but ended peacefully. Taseer's older son, Shahbaz, abducted by unknown assailants ahead of Qadri's 2011 sentencing, was released for as yet unknown reasons a week after the execution, and has been very active on Twitter using the hashtag Ask ST.